Hey guys, Prof Chipboard here, and I am back with my GPC last 16 match against Redithan. His link will be in the description. And he has the team of Balloon, Mega Aerodactyl, Empoleon, Chandelure, Slurpuff, and Meloetta. And he's sort of, I think he's either won all of his matches so far or just lost for one. He's got, obviously, Balloon can do quite a lot of damage to my team, like with its standard coverage, just sort of Rock Tomb, Bullet Seed, and Mac Punch. I think he hits everything on my team apart from the Celebi for super effective, so he may be carrying something like HP Bug, because he's ran Technician before, so Technician HP Bug might be coming. Mega Aerodactyl is a huge threat, outspeeds everything on my team. So he can run Adamant with a lot of bulk investment, because he doesn't need to invest very much at all to outspeed Mega Diancie, or even sort of the even a +1 Dragonite. Empoleon is annoying because it stops the Cloyster from sweeping, and it can stop the Diancie from sweeping, so trapping that would be quite nice to begin with. Also means I can't really have the stacking because it's a very reliable hazard remover. Has the Chandelure, I don't really have a switch in against this thing, and just because of its attack, and it's just got a huge special attack stat, so there's nothing really on my team which switches in against it. Like my bulkier mons, well, there's one thing, and that is AV Machamp can kind of, Dragonite, if I build specially but defensive, can kind of switch in, and so otherwise I'm really struggling to deal with that. Slurpuff, I have the Magnezone, and I'm not too worried about he's brought setup variants previously, so as long as I make sure I have stuff, nothing on my team is setup fodder for it, but I can deal with it. Meloetta, again, I don't really have much to hit it super effectively, aside from knockoff or a couple of other things, or like bug moves, so it's not particularly physically bulky, yeah, it can it is a threat with sort of setup, Calm Mind, sub. If it gets behind a sub, I really don't have any way of dealing with it. My best way of being is really knock off in Trick Room. So really, let's go into my team. We have Diancie with 140 attack, 252 speed, 116 speed, Rash Nature, which is plus special attack minus defense, if I recall correctly, something like that. We have Moonblast, Rock Polish, Earth Power, and Diamond Storm. I swapped out Protect for Earth Power. I built it originally with Protect, but decided I wanted the way to hit the Empoleon in case I couldn't trap it early game. Basically, I'm trying to weakness policy pass with this under Trick Room with the Celebi, and then I can Rock Polish up, Mega Evolve on my final turn, and this thing sweeps. Like if I can get the +2 to it, and if I can get the +2 speed, I don't necessarily need the +2 in special attack and attack. If I can get the +2 speed up, I can chunk everything on his team and potentially sweep. This is my big win con. So we'll see how that goes. We also have Admiral Akbar, Air Balloon, Magnet Pull. Air Balloon is there because I expect him to bring either an AV Earthquake or like a Wakan Empoleon. Gets access to Earthquake, which can kill it. I've got Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon for dual stab, nothing resists both stabs, Volt Switch and Magnet Rise. I originally built it with Toxic, but I expected a sub Meloetta, and potentially, if you got a Calm Mind up, I would be struggling to break a sub, and it could potentially be set up fodder for it. So I went for Toxic Volt Switch. Magnet Rise is so that potentially, if it gets to a point where it's just the Empoleon and me, it's Magnet Rise, so I can definitely beat the Empoleon, and it also means I will beat the Aerodactyl if I can get up a Magnet Rise. We have max special attack modest, a tiny bit of speed in case he tries to speed creep me with the Empoleon, and then rest in HP. Pretty standard. Then we have Martin McFly Celebi, Weakness Policy, Max HP, 20 Defense, Relaxed Nature, 236 Special Defense, 0 IVs and Speed, with Trick Room, Baton Pass, Psychic Nerf Power. Psychic Nerf Power allowed to chunk a lot of his team, hits a lot of things super effectively. It means I basically, unless he's HP Bug, Balloon, this thing takes it on really reliably, and I have got Weakness Policy on it. The whole point is I'm min speed, so I should underspeed a lot of his mons, and if I can Baton Pass into the Dynasty, that's game. It was definitely a game if I had Protect, or but with the Empoleon gone, it's basically game. I have got also Purple, my Dragonite. Again, Purple was originally because I had Haze on it. So it'd be Purple Haze Dragonite. I'm running Leftovers, Multiscale, 216 HP, 30 attack, 252 speed F, and 8 speed. Speed investment is just to avoid being speed crept. Have Extreme Speed, Aqua Tail, Roar, and Roost. Now, the reason why I'm running speed F is because I do not have a switch in to the Chandelure otherwise, and basically it means that when it comes in, something dies. It just makes life very difficult for me, and I need a reliable switch in. Roar is there, Roost is there, Roost is there for reliable recovery. Aqua Tail is so that I can hit the Chandelure and hit everything neutrally apart from the Empoleon, but there's no reason for me to stay on the Empoleon, particularly because it's probably might well be carrying ice coverage. I think it's unless he's the Roar is so that I can deal with the setup variant of a Slurpuff, which I'm quite worried about, because if he gets up a belly drum, it's game. So the whole point is, in case he wants to try and set up on me, I was considering bringing an Iron Head, but he does have I was considering like Iron Head and Earthquake and a more offensive one, but again I want to be able to switch in. And the whole point of he's brought Cotton Guard a couple of times, so after an Iron Head, after a Cotton Guard, Iron Head really does nothing, and I'd have to sort of win like a really long stall war with Haze, so it's easier just roar him out. Also prevents like a Sword Stance Balloon potentially, or like a or like a Calm Mind Meloetta. So Roar is like decent. It means I can phase his team around a bit. Next we have Machamp, Max Attack, Max HP, Full Speed F, Assault Vest, Adamant, Guts, Close Combat, Bullet Punch, and Knockoff Heavy Slam. This thing under Trick Room, basically he doesn't have a safe switch. He's going to have to guess 50-50s. Close Combat from Max Attack absolutely murks the Balloon. Heavy Slam will KO the Slurpuff and the Aerodactyl. Bullet Punch is there so I can basically revenge a weakened Slurpuff or a weakened Aerodactyl. Knockoff is there for the Meloetta and the Chandelure, unless he's running Colbur or really defensive. They won't take a hit at all. Assault Vest is if I can kind of take a hit from a couple of things. I was originally running Expert Belt, but that really meant that I didn't live attacks at all well. Next we have basically if I get up a Trick Room, this thing can blow a big hole in the team. Finally we have Nigel Thornberry, the Cloister. It's a bit of a weird set. I don't expect him to bring Focus Sash Balloon. Turns out he was Focus Sash. This doesn't come into play. I've got Chargy Berry so that I can set up in the face of Mega Aerodactyl. And I have Overcoat, Naive Nature, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Hydro and Shell Smash, 252 attack, 4 special attack, 252 speed. If I can get rid of the Empoleon, this thing sweeps. That's basically my other win com. Closest sweep, who would have guessed? Let's hop right into it. My lead here is the Magnezone to try and trap the Empoleon, which is great. Perfect lead for me, a great matchup, and so I click Thunderbolt. Bit unfortunate for him. I get a correct first turn. He was going for rocks. I would have needed like a really high roll in my favour to beat it to OHKO it otherwise. But good start for me. Here he goes into Meloetta. Charge Beam does nothing, but he does give a +1. I Volt Switch out. Now here it's quite a big thing. Volt switch reveals that he's AV. I didn't calculate at the time, I really should have. And if I'd had Toxic here, I could have Toxicked it, and it would have been on a timer, and it would have been... Oh, it would have been on a timer, and it would have sort of made life a lot harder for him. So yeah, I Volt switch out. I think I go out into my Dragonite, because I'm afraid of the setup with the Charge Beam. I think I just click Raw here, to get rid of the +1. And roar him out into this. I'm not afraid of that. As I take it on, I click Aqua Tail, and the damage here reveals that he's Fizz Death Cleric. I did not prep for that at all, and I realise that I'm going to have a really hard time. And I'm playing on tilt here to a certain extent. I'm not in the mind place where I should be. Does 36, so he's got a bit of bottom venom in Meloetta. He passes the voice fine, and I just carry on clicking Aqua Tail, I believe, or Roost. I recover up, and here I Aqua Tail again. That was a misplay. I should have gone hard into Magnet Zone. I think I was scouting for the Fire type move, because the Magnet Zone switch was pretty obvious, but we'll see. Here, another misplay. I'm playing badly. I shall smash up. If I wasn't kind of expecting to be able to live a hit, didn't calc it, and I could have lived a hit, but it was the roll was really not in my favour. And here, I messed up badly. I should have gone into Akbar. I should have just flash cannoned, and I should have waited for his Aerodactyl to be in to try and sweep then. It's sort of, I'd say, Volt switch out. He goes into Meloetta. I set up a Trick Room, hoping for him to have Shadow Ball something. I actually don't outspeed him, and he Psychics, which is unfortunate for me. Gets a lot of damage off him from a jump. Here I knock off. It's the obvious play, but it gets rid of items. And reveals Berry's gone. That's nice. He protects on my Heavy Slam, and here he makes quite an obvious double, and I predict it, and I knock off, taking out a Chandelure, which is nice. But he has got rid of my Trick Room. My champs are very low health. I don't see myself getting in again. And again, this is probably a misplay. I sack it off, just try to get damage here on the Aerodactyl. Here, go out into my Diancie, and I pivot out, looking for the Iron Head. If I don't have the Iron Head, I know. If he doesn't have the Iron Head, I know I can live a hit from this. Reveals he doesn't have Iron Head, and I double out into the Admiral Akbar. He wishes, and I think I Volt Switch out here, or Flash Cannon, can't remember which. I Magnum Rise. I don't know why I did that. I think I might have been scouting for HP Ground on the Meloetta, seeing if it had HP Ground or Focus Blast. Volt Switch out, because I can't really touch this thing, and I go into Meth. Here, I thought it was a roll if he had max special attack to knock me out if I Mega Evolved. I didn't want to risk that, and yeah, I didn't play particularly well. Here he Shadow Balls, really good play on Mime Fly. Gets the special attack drop, special defense drop, doesn't matter, I can't pass it anyway because he outspeeds me. And here it's basically game. Like he reveals Focus Blast. I should have just gone out into my Dragonite because I outspeed and can take it. Aqua Tail takes him out from that range. It didn't really matter. He had a Luff in the back to deal with my Magnet Zone here, and it's only really an issue of differential. There are some bad plays and some bits of prep here which really cost me, particularly the Cloyster bit, because I could have blown a big hole in his team, and if he tried to Spore rather than Bullet Seed, like if I brought Icicle Crash Cloyster, no, Icicle Sphere Cloyster, and I just waited until I got a free switch into the Aero, then I could have won that game, and I should have won it. It was poor play by me, and hopefully I can learn from it. It was probably one of the worst league games I've ever played. It is the worst one I played. It's not a comment on Ethan. He played very well. His sets threw me off, and I was on tilt, and I didn't realise I was playing on tilt until several turns in. I still made a couple of okay reads and stuff like that, but I was playing myself back into a hole, and I didn't have anything really I didn't keep around the things I needed to. I was too aggressive with my win cons, and once I knew I wasn't going to get the trick room pass up, I kind of head went out the window and I lost. Unfortunately, that's me losing my last 16. Yeah, I think I did a fairly good account of myself. I'm 2-2 overall. If you include group matches and miss overall, so it's not the end of the world. 3-0 is not that embarrassing. Bit disappointed in how I played, but things happen, and I think a couple of my picks may not have been ideal. I think going for Magnezone, I think I overestimated how good Magnezone would be. It's a bit slow, and I probably should have scooped it up in a later round, but got to learn from this. And hopefully I can still make the GPC proper. Depends how many players they're looking for. I think they're looking starting in Division 2, so may potentially end up in that if they do go for it. Thanks very much. I've been Prof Chipboard, and goodbye.